The last two videos were reactions to the Minelab Manticore coming out and scrambling for information. This one, we got the goods. We really got the goods.
Hey bro, nice tan line. Were you out metal detecting today?
I have a feeling that most of you have seen the Addicted to Bleeps video that was put out earlier today. I'm a freaking journalist.
He's a teacher.
I mean, that was a great video, and we will summarize, but there's more to show you than just that.
Like why you shouldn't wear a hat backwards after the age of 40?
There was also a 47-minute video put out on Facebook where it really goes into details on this detector. But we're going to go a step further. I got a great link from Calico. And, of course, Calico sells detectors. They've got all the specs. A lot of the information that people were asking about in comments in previous videos, we got it all there. And, yes, I'm linking to it in the video description. Don't go anywhere because we got a good show for you. But we got everything for you. Just FYI, the guy that you see talking for most of this, his name is Mark Laurie. He's Minelab's boss engineer. Since this is the third video on the topic that I've made, and we keep learning, this is a summary of everything that we know so far. Price is going to be $15.99 US dollars.
$1,599, Michelle says.
They keep referencing more power. We will elaborate on that when we figure out exactly what they mean by that.
Probably the big thing is it's got more power just coming out of the product into the ground. It's going to light up the ground more for customers. It's going to find more.
I did a segment in the last video about that. I'll link to it up here. Target ID goes up to 100.
IDs go up to 100.
No sale date yet. Come on! Weight is going to be less than an Equinox. If I remember correctly, it was 2.9 pounds.
1,200 pounds. Oh my God, that is light. It's about the same as a Nox. Less than a Nox. Right, you got that question answered.
They swear it's waterproof up to 5 meters.
Waterproof. Completely submersible. Yes, we know that. Do we know what depth, sir? 5 meters, the same as the Nox?
The only way the Nox is submersible is if you put a condom over it, I think.
I believe it's the same as Nox, isn't it?
It's pretty comparable with the physics.
Is it 3?
There's a 8-inch elliptical coil and a 12 by 15-inch elliptical coil.
There's an 8-inch elliptical and a 15 by 12 elliptical.
18 and 15.
There's electronics in the coil. I'm thinking just like the Deus 2.
Sorry, are there electronics in the coil on this machine, or?
There is electronics.
There's electronics in the coil, right, okay.
Wider spectrum of frequencies than the Equinox. That may or may not be true. I have them quoted as saying that.
With the multi-frequency, what kilohertz are we running at?
A variety.
Do you know which ones?
It's a little bit broader than Equinox.
A bigger spectrum,
A
yeah?
little bit higher frequency.
But I'm going to show you something that's going to contradict that, and we'll get to the bottom of this. You know what? Let's quickly drop this bomb right now. Minelab Equinox frequencies. Now, it says here that there's 5 single frequencies that the Equinox ran, but there was an update that added 4 kilohertz to it. So there was 4, 5, 10, 15, 20, and 40. But on the Calico literature, it reports the same frequencies that the Equinox uses, but no 4 kilohertz, so this is actually a little bit less. I got so much more to tell you, but let's finish what we know already, a recap of the past videos. Let me do that fast. Rebuilt from the ground up. I've heard them reference that multiple times.
Rebuilt from the ground up.
Wow. Okay. So it's not just it's not reused software then.
There's no GPS capabilities.
Oh, does it have GPS capabilities? It doesn't. Right. Okay.
Firmware will be updated by Minelab.
Is it going to be continually updatable?
Yes, absolutely.
And that would be via Mac and PC?
USB software upload.
Mac as well?
Yep.
Great.
There's a carbon fiber shaft.
Carbon fiber.
improved coil connection to the shaft. There is one model, like the Equinox has the 600 and the 800, and there's 3 Vanquishes. There's just one model of this.
Is there going to be different levels of spec on this model? I didn't get the rest of the message.
Can somebody tell me what the hell is spec?
It's not, no? One model. Okay, so it's not a series or anything.
There's a flexible arm cuff. Some people love it, some people hate it, from early comments that I've seen.
And as you can see as well, if you feel this...
Yay!
And he says that there's elements of the CTX 3030 and the Equinox in the design. So we're at the part of the video where we are going through the new and breaking news. I want to show you my favorite first. Let's go.
And on top of that, we've got like better algorithms in there that actually do the discrimination. And then to cap it all off, we've got like new visualizations. We've actually got a 2D screen that shows, you know, what's going on with the targets to help you make decisions.
Mark Lowry here from Minelab.
I've come all the way over from Australia.
And he brought
The Manticore.
like what?
Yeah,
kind
so like if my wedding ring is a platinum ring. It's a nice round target. And you get a really tight dot.
Yeah, kind of.
And so when we're detecting, we're looking for if we're looking for coins, because they're a nice round object, we're looking for that top dot. If we see it going up into the top or the bottom, that tells us that it's probably ferrous.
Okay, nice. So shall we start detecting?
A few years ago, Nocta Macro came out with a detector called the Invinio. And the Invinio had a screen that would give a visual inference to the user. Let me break it down. You could see shapes, and it was a machine that was arguably far ahead of their time. And it had a price tag that north of $5,000. And I've never run into a person that has swung an Invinio. It's important to note that from what I gather on the Invinio, you could see bigger shapes better than smaller shapes. It was a concept detector. I suppose at the time it was functional, but that part of it was very much concept. This is the same concept. You can get a visual inference on the shape of the target in the ground. My question is it going to be similar to an XY screen, which does not let you see shapes, but it kind of gives you a graphic curve on, you know, it gives you a graphic representation of what the target is and the properties on how it rings up. And that's only good really up to 6 inches down. And after that, you have to there's a zoom function that you have to zoom in, and it just gets really hard and arguably useless. My question is, if you get a deep target, are you going to be able to, you know, infer? Probably not, but that remains to be seen. This is a really exciting development that we really have to keep our eyes on with this, because this is potentially a game changer, but I'm a skeptic at this point. I'm hopeful, but I'm a skeptic. But there's more.
So, like I was saying, it's not finished, but it's pretty close to finished.
Did they get the EMI issues fixed?
As in the menus and the settings?
Yeah, we're just the menus and the settings and the defaults. We've still got to get that right. But yeah, so you basically cycle through like a Nox instead of the menus across. You're going up, and you've got different search modes.
How many search modes are going to have?
I think it's about 12 off the top of my head. It's got some beach modes.
According to the Calico literature, there are 10 search modes. All-terrain general, all-terrain fast, all-terrain low conductors, all-terrain high conductors, all-terrain trash reject, beach general, beach low conductors, beach deep, beach surf and seawater, and Goldfield general.
Oh my god.
And then a Goldfield mode.
Yep.
But yeah, it's
What's it
sort
like
of
in the gold, Mark?
Yeah, it's pretty good. Yeah.
So you could use this as a gold detector, quite a real gold detector.
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, Equinox is an all-terrain detector that does
Yeah.
a bit of everything. So it's got a really fast noise cancel.
Oh, good.
Oh my god. Oh wow.
Done, bang. Recovery speed. And you can set up your own discrimination patterns.
Oh, you know what?
And so the home, this is the 2D screen.
I'm gonna start messing about with this.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's meant to be a really easy detector, just like Equinox out of the box, but it's got the depth of, like, if people want to set up their own patterns and stuff.
It's really personal, isn't it? It feels like there's a lot more options to like personalise it.
Yeah. And so there's a lot going on. There's a new Ferrous limit system, which is like iron bias version 2.0.
Okay, yeah.
So everyone will get to grips with that, and I'm not going to go through that in detail
So
now.
in terms of frequency, what's the range?
So it's got multi-IQ Plus, which is the whole new revamped multi-IQ, and then you've got, like, you know, lots of different frequencies. Just like on Equinox. There's nothing too groundbreaking there, and then there's different audio systems.
After hearing that, I have the feeling that the multi-IQ mode has more frequencies than just the individual ones that are stated. Like, you could switch it to those, but when you're in multi, there's even more. That's something we have to look into.
As the standard settings go, I mean, it's just going to be, like you say, very easy to use out of the box. I mean, like Equinox, I pretty much use it on standard settings, and I really enjoy that.
Yeah.
I don't mess about with it too much because you don't need to. Is this going to be the same thing?
Absolutely, we're going to try and make it so that people can just
pick it
buy
up and go, switch on and go.
I mean, it's designed for sophisticated users, but we need to make it so that everyone can pick it up and just go.
And with regards to depth compared to the Equinox, what are we talking now? I mean, obviously the coils are very similar in size.
Well, it's got more power, so it'll go deeper than Equinox.
Is that a processor?
You know, there was an interesting comment that I'm going to read to you in a second. He's saying, though, that more power equals more depth. So this was a comment on the previous video by Jeff Hayes. By U.S. law, the transmit power of an RF signal is capped at 5 watts, whether a CB, radio, or a detector coil. Back in the White's 4000 days, we would wire a linear amp for a legal CB radio use and get huge depth increases, also unstable and noisy.
No, it's the actual how much juice it's sucking out of the battery and putting it through the coil into the ground. So it's actually just a beast. It's a beast.
Okay, it's a magical.
Eileen Morris wrote, basically another $1,000 for about a half-inch more depth, which is debatable, and a little bit more depth underwater.
Get involved.
So I've got it cranked up. The sensitivity goes quite a bit higher than an Equinox, but we'll just keep it sensible.
Yeah, so it's not
we'll drop it down to 25.
Yeah.
And it's pretty quiet already, but we'll just do another noise cancel. Boom. So yeah, I'll just test it with my ring. Pretty good. Happy as.
So your recovery speed range on this is same as Nox?
Yeah, we've made it. Where possible, we've tried to make it as approachable and logical, like building on top of the Nox.
The rest of that video were members of Addicted to Bleeps, using the machine and giving their impressions of it. And I'm going to move this video away from that. I'm trying to focus on the engineer, what he has to say, and keep it news. You should definitely check out the Addicted to Bleeps video, and I thank them for making that. And, it helps us all. It really does. But Calico, we got all of the details right here. I got yelled at in the comments last time about not mentioning full band spectrum as a simultaneous multi-frequency. It wasn't called simultaneous multi-frequency, but it merged the utility of multiple frequencies. So, yes, it's SMF before it was called SMF. But I suppose this would be the third generation of SMF, and the Calico article speaks a little bit on that. The Manticore has been 3 years in the making at Minelab's Australian headquarters, packed with twice as much battery power as the Equinox metal detector. The Manticore funnels that power straight into the metal detector's coil for deeper detection and faster recovery times. Wireless headphones, a carbon fiber shaft, and a new coil ear configuration may make the Manticore the new must-have metal detector. What's changed and what's the same? It basically says that this is a marriage between the Equinox and the CTX 3030. You will see features of both detectors in the Manticore, and you're going to see enhanced audio. And that really has become, that's been my growth area over the past few years. But you might remember my friend Philip the Knox, who literally can hear silver. I can't wait to hear or see what he does with this detector, because I struggled mightily with being able to hear the difference between a silver sound and a regular sound, you know, a clad coin sound on the Equinox. But I believe that my friend could definitely do that. Goes on to say that there's no Bluetooth in this. It has a proprietary low latency wireless connectivity to connect the headphones to the box unit. There's a backlit keypad, and in the video I saw a little bit of color on the screen. Search modes and discrimination I got into before. There's 10 of them. Seems to be 4 from the beach and 5 for all-terrain, and 1 that is Goldfield. Beast mode, they were talking about what I showed you before, how you could see shapes on the 2D screen. Just lets you inference a little bit better. I'm really excited about that. There's one more section, specifications. I'll just give you the link to the site. It's in the video description. This is all stuff that we have gone over before. I really think that nails everything. If there's more bombshells to come, you know I will be reporting it here. But the links to the videos that I referenced are in the video description. And I think we pretty much encapsulated, like, this is a buyer's guide for the Manticore. So I hope you feel the same way. I'm excited about it. I'm definitely going to be getting it. And I'll let you know. I mean, you could always wait and see what I think. I own, this is going to be my 20th detector. God, I got a problem. But I love that problem. I'll give you an honest opinion of what I think. You'll know that it's an honest opinion because I'll be using what I think gives me the best chance to succeed. It's as simple as that. Right now it's the Deus. For years before that it was the Equinox. But I have a good feeling about this detector. Minelab only knows how to hit it out of the park. I take them very seriously. Anyway, if you haven't already, please hit that like button, subscribe button, if you will. Helps my channel grow, and I thank you for watching.